Hey, what is going on, guys? So we got to talk about Ron DeSantis because his campaign ain't looking so good, okay? So we got an exclusive right here from Rolling Stone. The Murdochs, who are the kingmakers of conservative media, are starting to lose confidence in Ron DeSantis, unimpressed by his campaign and its weak numbers, sources tell Rolling Stone. Okay, let me tell you guys the deal here. There is a faction of the Republican Party that does not want Trump and would rather somebody else, i.e., a Ron DeSantis. But the problem the Republicans have is most Republicans love Donald Trump, and majority of that party is going to vote for Donald Trump no matter what, no matter how many times he gets sued, no matter how many times sexual assault allegations come out about him, racist allegations, criminal investigations, criminal indictments. They don't care. They are voting for Donald J. Trump. And this is unfortunate because it's causing other candidates like Ron DeSantis to run a weak campaign because they can't beat Trump. It's just that simple. The Republican Party is stuck with Trump, folks. That's what's going on here. So here we go. Here's the full article. Murdoch starts to sour on DeSantis. They can smell a loser, which I agree. He is a loser. I agree with that. He's great in Florida. He can win that election. But remember, folks, just because somebody can win a local election doesn't mean they can do well nationally. We've seen this plenty of times throughout history. We've seen plenty of candidates who did phenomenal locally, who were loved by their state or loved by their district and suck when it comes to running for president. Running for president is a different ball game, different type of messaging, different type of campaign you got to run. It's a whole different thing. Not everybody's cut out to run a successful presidential campaign and win it, okay? Says here, conservative media kingmakers preferred candidate to knock off Donald Trump is not meeting expectations, and the family's patriarchy is getting tired of waiting. Exactly. What did I just tell you guys? There is a decent amount of conservative people with power who would like to knock off Donald Trump, but they can't. We literally just went over this. Okay, less than 2 months into Ron DeSantis's declared run for president, his most important backers in conservative media are already starting to lose faith. I don't blame them. Since the beginning of the Biden presidency, the powerful Murdoch family has favored the Florida governor in the 2024 presidential primary. This is true, largely due to a conviction that DeSantis will be a more electable and less chaotic evolution from Donald Trump. Well, that's clearly wrong. He probably, actually, I'm not even sure he'd be less chaotic, to be honest with you. The article is saying that he'd be more electable and less chaotic. I actually don't agree. I think Ron DeSantis is just as extreme as Donald Trump, if not more. I think he'd be just as chaotic. Obviously, he's not more electable. But in recent weeks, the Murdochs have grown increasingly displeased with the DeSantis campaign's perceived stumbles, lackluster polling, and inability to swiftly dethrone Trump. Oh, yeah, he ain't dethroning Trump. Multiple sources tell Rolling Stone. They have also seriously questioned whether, what is this? I don't know what this is. Okay. They have also seriously questioned whether the governor is capable of defeating Trump. Oh, he's not beating Trump. No doubt about it. Billionaire media mogul Rupert Murdoch in particular has been voicing his doubts and frustrations in private discussions and calls, at times wondering if a DeSantis comeback is possible at this point. Murdoch is okay, we all know who Rupert Murdoch is. Okay. So, a lot to unpack here. First off, I want to show you guys a funny video. This did happen. Fox News actually kind of set him up a little bit. Like, you probably wouldn't expect it to happen, but Fox News kind of threw this guy under the bus, and this kind of shocked everybody, and you had a couple news media outlets that were like writing about it. But let me show you guys the video because this is actually really funny. Remember, this is the network that's supposed to be supposedly supporting the guy, but look at what they said about him. Here you go.
Yeah, and you've done a great job pushing back against woke. We know that, but I'm wondering what's going on with your campaign. There was a lot of optimism about you running for president earlier in the year, but here's this weekend's headline from the Politico playbook. Failure to launch. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis' campaign to topple Donald Trump has stalled. We are way behind, says a top DeSantis PAC official, sounding the alarm. What happened?
Oh, Maria, these are narratives. The media does not want me to be the nominee. I think that's very, very clear. Why? Because they know I'll beat Biden. But even more importantly, they know I will actually deliver on
Okay, so clearly this guy's nervous. You can hear him nervously laughing as she's just straight up just destroying him. She's like, your polling is trash. You got political playbooks saying what happened. Trump is destroying you. Your campaign does not have the same momentum that it first had when you were, before you stepped in the race. Before he stepped in the race, there was a lot of hype over DeSantis. They're like, oh yeah, this guy can absolutely beat Trump. He's better. He's a great alternative. Folks, this guy is getting smoked, not only nationally, he not even beating Donald Trump in his own state. Let me show you. Here we go. Political polls right here. In the 2024 Florida Republican primary, Donald Trump is smoking this guy by 20 points, polling at 50% in DeSantis' own state. This guy is the governor of the state, and it ain't even close. He's down by 20 points in this latest poll from political polls. Absolutely insane. And I'm going to tell you why that's so devastating and why this all ties in with Rupert Murdoch basically losing hope in this guy. Remember, the entire basis of Ron DeSantis' campaign is how good of a job he's done in Florida. Everybody's saying, oh, he's running Florida so well. Florida's an amazing state because of DeSantis. He's fighting against wokeism. He's fighting against leftists. He's fighting against Democrats, and he's winning. And everybody in Florida loves him, and he's awesome. He ain't even winning Florida. Most Floridians are going to vote for Donald Trump, and make no mistake about it, folks. Ron DeSantis has zero chance to win the state of Florida. The state of Florida will be going to Donald J. Trump, okay? Make no mistake about it. And this completely damages his campaign. So he's polling bad against Trump nationally. He's getting destroyed. Locally in the state of Florida, his own state that he's currently the governor of right now, he is polling terribly and getting destroyed. And then if we look at the head-to-head, it's right down here. They even showed a head-to-head. The polling actually favors Donald Trump even more if all these bums weren't in the race. The head-to-head is basically saying, okay, let's take out Christie and Ramaswamy and Scott and Pence. Let's just put you versus Trump. Okay, Trump would beat you even more. He's polling at 54%. Like, oh my goodness. So it's just absolutely insane. And, now you've got, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but now you got DeSantis' wife who's campaigning for him. She's doing her own thing now. She's literally going out on the campaign trail and campaigning on his behalf. They are in desperation mode. They are doing everything they can to try and close that gap. But here's the problem. Not only are they not going to be able to close the gap is going to widen. I've said this plenty of times on this channel. DeSantis was hyped up, but now you got to run the race, okay? It's a whole different thing to be hyped up. Oh, this guy's the best. He's great. He's going to beat Trump. He's great. We love him. He's done this. He's done that in the state of Florida. It's a whole different ball game when you step up to the plate and you go up to bat and you actually compete. Now we've seen plenty of things. We've seen that he's a little awkward, a little geeky. He just doesn't have that same charisma and just resignation of the message that Trump has. Trump's message still resonates. Trump just connects better with the people. Trump is more charismatic. Trump is more entertaining. Trump is what most Republican voters want, regardless of the Republican establishment. It doesn't matter. Republican voters want Donald Trump. Honestly, shout out to DeSantis for doing this well. I mean, at least he's not polling at 4% and 2%, but hey, the fact that you can't even win your own state, I mean, if I were him, I would just, I mean, I don't know if he has any other reasons why he would run at this point. Maybe he wants to continue to get his name out there and stay in the headlines. I don't know. But if I wasn't even winning my own state, I would just drop out. Like, you're clearly not going to win, dude. You're not even winning in your own dang state. It's embarrassing. It really is embarrassing. And the fact that we have this article up here pretty much tops it off. Yeah, I would not be surprised if the Murdochs just say, okay, screw it. We're just going to support Trump again. Even though Trump has been talking crazy about us on his Truth Social, screw it. We're just going to support him because clearly this loser is going to do it. And it's the truth. DeSantis has no chance. I'm sorry. He has no chance. He's not going to win. He's just not the right candidate. He's not the right candidate. The unfortunate part for the Republicans is they're stuck. There's a decent amount of powerful Republicans who do not want Trump, but there's nothing they can do. Trump is going to continue to be relevant. He's going to continue to run every year. If he loses this election, obviously, if he wins, then that's the last term he can serve. But if he loses, he's going to run again, and the Republicans are stuck. The Republican base, the Republican voters love him. They're going to vote for him. and they're going to keep voting for him and keep loving him. And they can't find a candidate that could beat this guy. And so that's really what you got going for yourself. I think the Republican and Democratic Party are in two of the exact same positions. The Republicans are stuck with Trump. The Democrats are stuck with Biden because the Democrats don't have anybody that could beat Trump. Now, the Democrats do have some political stars that could rise up. The problem is they can't beat Trump. Once Trump is done, if he stops running or just leaves the earth, I don't know, whatever happens, whatever ends up happening that stops him from finally running, that's when the Democrats will start to run other people. But besides that, they don't have a choice. It's Biden and Trump until Trump stops or they figure something else out. So, yeah. Okay. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.